Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon.
Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, Barangay Payawin, Gubat, Sorsogon. Today is July 17, 2026. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the contracts 26FL0062 with contract name Construction, Improvement of Access Roads leading to declared tourism destination, Tourism Road Infrastructure Program Trip, Sua-Laboy, Bulan-Matnog-Sta Magdalena-Bulusan Road leading to Bulusan National Park, Sorsogon, Matnog, Sorsogon. And 26FL0064, construction of San Isidro, San Rafael Road, Prieto, Diaz, Sorsogon, Prieto, Diaz, Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: David D. Pura Jr., Vice Chairman.
Present.
Dave P. Emilia, TWG Head. Jesalo R. Emilia, Back Member.
Present.
Lea Fontenares, Back Member. Racer Joy P. Rocha from Planning and Design Section. Christian E. Austria, IT. Cecil L. Medicine, Back Member. Mr. Vice Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum and wala pong present na ka-track per bid.
Okay, since we have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. The agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows: basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award, summary proceedings including bid bulletins, supplemental to be issued, questions and comments from the bidders and replies of the BAC and other representatives of the procuring entity, and other matters. To discuss the basic contract data is Engineer Russell Joy Rocha.
Thank you, sir. For the basic contract data, we have contract ID 26FL0062 with contract name Construction Improvement of Access Roads leading to declared tourism destinations, Tourism Road Infrastructure Program or TRIP, Sua-Laboy Access, Bulan-Matnog-Sta to Bulusan Road leading to Bulusan National Park, Sorsogon, Station 1340 to Station 2225, with contract location at Matnog, Sorsogon, with an approved budget for the contract of 56,523,910 pesos. The source of fund is the GAA FY 2026, with contract duration of 210 calendar days and 35 calendar days of predetermined and workable number of days. For the cost of bidding documents, it is at 50,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on July 31, 2026 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is RCP. Project description, we have the scope of work. This project involves the construction of road with a 6.7 meter carriageway and a 1.5 meter shoulders on both sides, having a pavement thickness of 0.28 meters. It includes stone masonry, line canals, stone masonry, pipe overs 910 mm diameter, and grouted riprap for slope and drainage protection. It also includes miscellaneous works such as installation of street lights and pavement markings. For the objective, improve road infrastructure to provide safe, reliable, and convenient access to Bulusan National Park for tourists, residents, and stakeholders. Shown are the geotag photos taken during site validation, and we also have here the environmental clearance as well as the certifications that proves that the project is up to date relating to the rates covered. For the detailed engineering design plan, we have the cover page of the plan of the said project, the vicinity map, location map, and the straight line diagram. We also have here the typical roadway cross sections and other standard details. Requirements of bidding documents. First is instruction to bidders or the ITB, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications from the DPWH Blue Book, Volume 2 and 3, drawings, bill of quantities, and other forms. For the bid data sheet, it is as shown. All are downloadable both through the DPWH website or in field jobs. We also have here the special conditions of the said contract, as well as the bill of quantities. For the minimum manpower requirement for the project manager, general experience must have handled infrastructure projects. For the project engineer, DPWH accredited project engineer. For the materials engineer, must be a DPWH accredited materials engineer. General construction foreman must have handled similar projects. As for the safety and health officer, must have undergone 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. For the minimum equipment requirements, for the dump truck, required number of units is 2 units. Payloader 1 unit, bulldozer 1 unit, backhoe 1 unit, motorized road grader 1 unit, vibratory roller 1 unit, water truck or pump 1 unit, transit riser 4 units, concrete batch plant 1 unit, cargo service truck 1 unit, kneading machine 1 unit, and straight boom lift telescopic 1 unit. Now proceeding with basic contract data and contract ID 26FL0064 with contract name, construction of San Isidro to San Rafael Road, Prieto Diaz Sorsogon, station 0+00 to station 1+120. With contract location, Prieto Diaz Sorsogon. The approved budget for the contract is 43,491,690 pesos. The source of fund is the 2026 GAA. And the contract duration is 174 calendar days, with 35 calendar days as the predetermined and workable number of days. Cost of bidding documents is 25,000 pesos. Submission of bids is also scheduled on July 31, 2026 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is RCP. For the project description, the scope of works, this project involves the rehabilitation and improvement of road with a 6.1 meter carriageway and a 1.5 meter shoulders on both sides, having a pavement thickness of 0.23 meters. It includes stone masonry and line canal stone masonry for slope and drainage protection. It also includes miscellaneous works such as installation of street lights, metal guard rail posts, and chevron signs, 450 by 600 dimensions. For the objectives, the project aims to rehabilitate the San Isidro to San Rafael Road by restoring damaged pavement, improving drainage and slope protection, and installing road safety facilities to enhance its overall condition and functionality. It also seeks to provide safer, more efficient transportation by reducing travel time and vehicle operating costs while improving access to essential services and economic opportunities. Shown po are the geotag photos taken during the site validation. And we also have here the environmental clearance, which is to be followed or applied na po, and the other certifications. We have here the detailed engineering design plan for the cover page of the said project, as well as the location map and the vicinity map, the general notes, the straight line diagram, and the typical details of our sections of the said project and other standard details. Requirements of bidding documents, again po, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications, the DPWH Blue Book, Volume 2 and 3, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Shown po is the bid data sheet of 26FL0064, and the special conditions of contract, as well as the bill of quantities. For the minimum manpower requirement for the project manager, general experience must have handled infrastructure projects. For the project engineer, must have handled similar projects. For the materials engineer, must be a DPWH accredited materials engineer. For the general construction foreman, must have handled similar projects. And for the safety and health officer, must have undergone the 40 hours basic construction, safety, and health training. For the minimum equipment requirement, for the backhoe, required number of units is 1 unit, bulldozer 1 unit, cargo or service truck 1 unit, dump truck 3 units, motorized road grader 1 unit, truck mounted crane 1 unit, and Pump or truck, 1 minute.
Key points: the lowest calculated responsibility will be used as the criteria for award. The amount of advance payment is 15% of the total contract price to be made in lump sum. All progress payments shall be first be charged against the advance payment until the latter has been fully exhausted at the option of the procuring entity. The contractor shall submit the program of work to the procuring entity within 10 days of the delivery from the notice of award. Submission and receipt of bids. We follow the 2-envelope system, where the first envelope contains the eligibility and technical requirements, and the second envelope contains the financial proposal. Our bid validity po is 120 calendar days. Sealing and marking of bids, original technical, original financial, shall then be enclosed in a single envelope marked original bid. Pwede din po sa ating copy 1. Original bid and copy 1 shall then be enclosed in a single envelope. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contracted bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient map, procuring entity, and the markings not opened before the date and time of the opening of bids. Unsealed and unmarked bids shall not be accepted. Not compressed and not password protected shall not be accepted. Improperly sealed and marked bid shall be accepted. Improperly compressed and password protected shall be accepted. Submission and receipt of bids. For bid modification po, bid modifications must be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. The bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid, however, shall submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, and linked to its bid and marked as a modification. For letter withdrawals must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of the bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic bidder shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as a modification of the one previously submitted. The latest bid receipt, the time indicated in the latest bid receipt page shall be the official time of submission. Meron po tayong 2 modes of submission of bid. The bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid. Either manual submission of bid or electronic submission of bid. For manual submission of bid, yan po ay sa Back Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon, 2nd DO, Barangay Payawin, Bulan, Sorsogon. For electronic bids naman po, yan po ay sa electronic bids _Sorsogon2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Eligibility criteria. The following persons or entities shall be allowed to participate in the bidding of infrastructure projects: A. Duly licensed Philippine citizens or sole proprietorships, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and in which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and in which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in the procurement of infrastructure projects when provided for under any treaty or international or executive agreement as provided in Section 4 of the Act of the IRR of RA 12009. Bidders must have a valid pickup license, must have had single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract we bid, at least 50% of the The single largest completed contract shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or similar performance and monitoring system. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience, provided the cost of the contract we bid is not more than the ARCC of their registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC of the contract we bid. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in this bidding must be in the document request list, DRL, of the PhilJobs website and secure a printout copy showing that they are included in the list and are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Work Application, CWA, at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila, while those who are already enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. Contractors' eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH Contractor Profile Eligibility Process, CPEP, and subject for further post-qualification. We encourage our bidders po to enroll in the CWA to facilitate the fast evaluation of their bid. If enrolled na po, eto na lang po ang kailangan submit as eligibility documents. Pick up license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. If hindi pa po naka-enroll sa ating CWA, ang kailangan po submit ang PDEP Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR, pick-up license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. Mandatory requirements: documents comprising the technical components, bid security, validity po 120 calendar days, in the form of cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, 2% of the ABCP. Surety bond callable upon demand, 5% of the ABC, or you can submit po yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided po ng ating RA 12009 sa format po ng panibagong bid securing declaration. Project requirements: organizational chart for the contract to bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, owned, lease, or under purchase agreement. Latest General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information, BOI, duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission. For corporations lang po ito. For sole proprietorship po, hindi na po kailangan po. ISO 9001-2015 certification or its latest version as applicable. Omnibus Sworn Statement, duly notarized. Please be guided po ulit ng ating RA 12009 sa format po ng ating Omnibus Sworn Statement. Any clauses po sa omission ng any clauses po sa Omnibus Sworn Statement, bid securing declaration, and bid form shall be grounds po for disqualification. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. The statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Kailangan po na-declare po lahat ang inyong ongoing. Any misdeclaration po ng inyong ongoing na projects shall also be ground po for disqualification. Yan po ang sample ng ating bid securing declaration, Omnibus Sworn Statement. For second envelope po, ang laman naman po niya ay bid form, summary bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter and month and payment schedule, other documents, requirements, and the bidding documents. Yan po ang sample ng ating bid form. Please be guided po. Any omission po sa mga clauses ng ating bid forms should also po ground po for disqualification. For detailed evaluation of bids, ang purpose po niyan is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices on bids. Ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. Ang method is a non-discretionary criterion shall be used which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. In case of discrepancies between bid price in figures versus bid price in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus the unit price for the item times the quantity. The unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. The stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items. The actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders po sa ating bidder of the no-contract rule, prohibition of communication with bidders from bid evaluation po until the award of contract. For post-qualification, ang purpose po niyan is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies with and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents, to be declared as the lowest calculated and responsive bid. Our method po is a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion which shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. In compliance po sa ating DO9 series of 2012, if a key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The personnel will be put out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract. 2. She will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Sa equipment qualification naman po, also to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any piece of the equipment is not in the specified location, the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Common reasons for bidders' disqualification. Letter A, late submission of bids without valid reason. Submission of patently insufficient bid, submission of expired PhilJAP certificate of registration, failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, curriculum vitae, failure to submit the required bid form, submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms. Submission of bid form, bid securing declaration, omnibus form statement, joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder, its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. NFC, insufficient NFCC, insufficient SNCC.
Any questions or clarifications? Wala na. So since we have no more matters to discuss, this